So I just started over with posting again, and I already messed up. So let's talk about that because I want to talk about my mistakes. Hopefully, it helps somebody else who's on their journey. um, but to my point, I posted in the wrong order. And a part of the reason why this is my third attempt is because my second attempt, it was just too much at one time. And I wasn't posting my pre-recorded videos. So now I go straight to YouTube, hit record, say what I have to say, post it, save it, repost it on IGTV, then Instagram, then to Facebook, and let's see, Twitter. So that's where I'm at right now. Down the line, as my business grows, I will tap into more social media apps. I will have more to say. I'm sure the videos will get better. My message will get clearer. I'm just sort of waiting for that time. It's not today, but I have to start now. I have to at least do, because I don't have any other way of being really good at delivering my message. I just have to practice. I just have to practice. And for me, it makes more sense for me to post what I'm practicing than to keep practicing and installing, and then telling myself, that video wasn't good enough, or I need to change this, or change that. I cut all of that noise out. And it really, really helps me, and I hope that it helps somebody else. If that's not the way that you want to go about it, that's okay. There's more than one way to go about it. And feel free to express yourself however you want. I would just appreciate if you didn't try and knock me down in the meantime. You don't have to shove me down in order to make yourself brighter or stand out or anything like that. It's just no need in being negative. And I know that's easier said than done. I was never the type to post negative things or post negative comments, but it doesn't mean that I didn't have those thoughts. I see foolery online just as much as the next person, and I choose not to say anything. And for me, that's step one. Step two, which is where I'm trying to get to, is saying something positive when someone says something negative to me. And I truly invite other people to do the same thing, especially this time in our lives, because there is a lot going on, and we just don't need to add more fuel to the flame. We just don't. And I'm gonna leave that there. I wanted to talk about making this mistake because I wanted to help somebody else if they decide that they want to go on the influencer path. I don't really like that word. I really am more like an impactor, because I just want to impact one person. And then once I impact that one person, I want to impact another one, and then another one, and let that be my goal. I find that a lot of people, including myself, is aiming to have thousands of followers, and I constantly have to remind myself, I don't even have one yet. How do I get to thousands of followers if I don't even have one? So that's where I have to start. And then I'll have 10, and then I'll have 100 and 1,000, and so on and so forth. And maybe one day that stops. Maybe I cap out on the amount of people that I reach. And at that point in time, we'll see what happens. If I decide to continue going, or if I decide that that's good enough for me. Because I'm truly just here to impact one person and to show my journey of launching my business. And let's talk about that. So I am launching a performance streaming app. That's like my quick throw it out there phrase. Performance streaming app. But what it does is it makes it easy for fans to group all of their favorite events together so that they can attend all the live and recorded events that they want, or that interest them. And so the biggest thing is music, especially with the way things are right now, the arts, people in that field. Trying to get attendance right now is at a low, and I just want to help out with that because a lot of things that's available to us is very healing if we choose to let it heal us. And I want people to have access to all of their events in one place. So that's the goal, and how this will help is, one, the entertainers. So motivational speakers, comedians, artists, recording, or just like paint and all those other mediums. I'm not into art, so I'm not gonna pretend like I know what I'm talking about when I talk about artists. But anyone who considers themselves an artist and they put out events, or they go on tour or anything like that. So it's to help them reach us. Because right now what I'm finding is, someone that I follow, I have an event. It could be a fashion show. It could just be a simple conversation that they're gonna have with other people within their medium. So for example, there's yoga people, and I don't really know that much about yoga, so I'm sure there's like yogi or whatever it's called. Sorry. Just, it's not that important to me. I'm not intending to be offensive, and I'll never intend to be offensive, and I probably won't continue to say sorry for a long time because that's just not who I am. It's not my intention to say things that's offensive, and if you want to correct me, I am more than open to being corrected as long as it's delivered in the right way. If you're attacking me, I'm going to ignore it. I'm human. Like, I'm not going to listen to things that you have to say. I'm just not. So if you want to have a conversation about it, by all means. If you want to give me some hints or anything like that about anything that I ever talk about, go ahead. I appreciate it. And if anything, if you're correcting me and other people get to see what that looks like and understand how they can correct themselves and why I needed to be corrected in the first place, I'm just willing to be that person. So about my business, sorry, I just got done with the gym. I also want to help us, the fans, the people trying to get to these events. As I was starting to mention earlier, if there is someone that's in the fitness realm and they're talking about yoga, they will do lives with other people who talk about yoga, or other fitness enthusiasts. And I don't really see that. Like, I can turn on my notifications, but if I don't remember, I'm not gonna make room for it. So if you tell me on September 22nd that there's gonna be a hair show, and especially if it's about locks, because I'm dreaded, I'm not gonna remember that. So until I get a notification that that live has started, I could be anywhere, And if I'm on the road, I'm slightly irritated. I don't know about you, but I'm slightly irritated because I really want to watch that. Of course, I can show up late to it, but again, that depends on what I'm doing. And if I forgot about it, you know, I'm missing it. And then the other part to it is, if I miss it, where do I go to find it? Because there's so many live platforms out there. And is it even saved, you know? And if it wasn't saved and other people went, you know, can I get their feedback? Can I see their comments or whatever screenshots they took, especially since it's live? Some people do record their screens. You know, it sort of depends, but I don't have that visibility now. And it might exist. You know, there might be a company out there right now that's trying to do that, and I don't know of them. So I want to create it because I know that it's missing, and because I have friends that are doing performances and they know about it weeks in advance, and we probably don't know about it until a week before, just because you start promoting around that time the most. I mean, if you know the artist and you know that it's coming up, but other than that, it's sort of missing. So I want to change that. I want anyone who's going live and anyone that has an event that's being recorded to have access to it. I feel like there's other things that I needed to discuss, but that's 90% of what my company is trying to provide. But let me tell y'all, I'm at step 1. And step 1 is probably the longest. Step 1 is conquering your fears. Step 1 is valuing yourself. Step 1 is building up the strength to handle negativity. Step 1 is a lot of things, and it's different for a lot of people, but it's the longest one. Step 2 for me is posting, is talking about it, is letting people know. And I'm choosing to do that via video, vlogging. There's tons of methods out there, and all you have to do is just start. Just do. Believing in yourself comes in handy because you have to cheer yourself on throughout the entire process, for every little thing too. Like, I have to be glad that I made this video, like super excited that I made this video, because I haven't been making content. I haven't been sending out my message. I haven't been pushing myself. And nobody teaches you how to do that. And I guess because it's really hard to teach. Like, how do you teach someone to believe in themselves? Honestly, for me, it's just repeating the same things over and over and over again. Every single time I have doubt, every single time I have fear, every single time I want to tell myself to wait or make an excuse or be upset because I didn't reach some deadline that I made for myself. Have you ever done that? Like, you know, I want to make sure that today I eat 4 meals and eat every 3 hours. And then the moment you don't do something that you wanted to do, that you envision doing, is the moment you're just like, oh, I'm such a failure. I can never get this done, yada, yada, yada. Instead of telling yourself, it's okay, I can do it again tomorrow. I can try again tomorrow. It's little things like that where at the end of the day, I'll pat myself on the back. I know where I messed up. I admit that I messed up, and I'm gonna try and do better tomorrow. And not just that, like, let's say that I actually ate all my meals that day. I'm super into meal prep, so I will mention stuff about meals and fitness. Let's say I did that. That's an accomplishment for me. To eat all of my meals, like just the meals, because when I'm leaning out, I want a snack. And it's really hard not to snack. Things that make it easy is not buying the junk in the first place, but it doesn't mean that I don't want to do it. And it doesn't mean I'm not tempted to go drive out and go get snacks. And it doesn't mean that, you know, every time I go to the grocery store, I only buy what I intended to buy. It just means I try and I practice and I have faith in myself. So a lot of that was my step one, was getting to that place. And now I'm at the step 2 of posting. And then my step 3, mine, is building my website. Luckily for me, a holiday is coming up, and I've told myself no excuses. Now, what does that mean in reality? In reality, that means if I go through the entire holiday and don't get it done, I shouldn't beat myself up. I made that goal for myself. I answered to it myself. I'm the one who has to put that work in. If I don't put the work in, I don't get results. It doesn't mean I never get results. It just means I'm not going to get them. I can't just get a website if I don't build the website. It's just not going to happen. So I really just am putting goals out there with no timeline. None. 0. Because I can't go from 0 to 100. That's impossible. I have built like 2 websites in my life, and I don't maintain either of them. I didn't build those overnight in 1 second, all of a sudden. So I'm not gonna build this one that way. And I have to be honest with myself, very honest with myself. At the end of the holiday, if I don't have that website up, I gotta check in with me. I gotta tell myself, girl, you know you should get that done. It'll help reach your dreams. It'll help make your dreams come true. I have to do that. There's nobody here to cheer me on. There's nobody here to get on my case about getting something done. Nobody. Nobody calls me and goes, hey, Rece, did you get your website done? And honestly, truthfully, I don't want them to. I don't want to be codependent on somebody else cheering for me. If somebody does, it's a bonus, it's a plus. I'm like super excited, like thanks for recognizing my hard work, you know, my efforts. But if somebody doesn't, I don't need to go in the opposite and say, oh no, nobody cares, and you know, this isn't good enough, because if it was good enough, people would pay attention. I don't need to do that. It's just not a safe thing to do. And I understand how it's so easy to go there. I do. But I'm choosing not to. So I'm going to focus on step 3, building my website. If that's this weekend, this month, this year, when I get it done, I'm going to be super happy, and it's going to be an accomplishment regardless of when it gets done. Because I'm launching my business. It's on my time. It is. It's yours. You get to choose how it looks. You get to choose how you feel about it. And it's not easy at all. I am not the front and center type of person. I definitely am the laid back, lounge around type of person who is very spontaneous. You know, if you want to go rock climbing, like, if I can learn how to do it, I'm your girl. I'll show up. But if you want me to compete and turn this into a hobby, no, I'm all down for picking up a new skill and learning something new and sharing it with people and all of that, but I am legitimately a jack of all trades and master of none. And at first that used to bother me, but that's a different story. I'll get to that down the line. Hopefully, maybe. Who knows? I've learned a lot from my first round of trying to make content that I changed my mind a lot. And we all do. That's what humans do. So, only thing I know for sure is that my app will make it easy for fans to group their favorite events together so that they won't miss scheduled live or recorded events. That's what I do now. And I know that it'll help a lot of people. It'll bring in a lot of opportunities for people down the line, years to come. Like, it's not going to be tomorrow. It's not going to be next month or anything like that. I don't even have my website built, you guys. Like, it takes time and patience and faith and hope and love. And these things we tend to forget in our day-to-day lives. We don't put as much value on it as we should. So I will continue to talk about my business and the company that I'm trying to build, along with the environment, like the policies that I'm trying to create, just around the things that we wear, the way our hair looks, wearing makeup or not, and just all sorts of things that I don't know if they really matter in the workplace. So I want to throw it out there, and I want to throw my solutions to it and what I want to try and create, and I'll go from there. So yeah, I look forward to talking to everyone about where this company is headed and how it's going to help people in the future. And we can go from there. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. You could be doing anything else in the world and you decided to take a moment and hear me out, and I greatly appreciate it. And if you don't stay, everyone's not going to like me and I'm not going to like everyone. But thanks for considering me. Until next time, I love you and I hope you have a happy day. It is nighttime for me, so have a happy night. I believe in you way more than you believe in you, but we'll get to that down the line. And you should really try and figure out how to defund the police. I really appreciate it. Lives out here, actual human life is dependent on it, not jobs, life. So look into it and have a happy night. Love you.